Okay, it's a short one today. The chapters aren't of the same length, so where this says 49, it's probably come up as the 48th work I've done here, but they will catch up by the end of the chapter. So, inde then, el Tarquinus, occepit, he began to regnare. Beginning takes the infinitive. To who the cognomen, that's the name, he was indideranted. He was given this factor from factor as it was happened, the name of Superbus. Tarquinus Superbus means proud or arrogant, and there's a reason, a quia, because the Genna, son-in-law, prohibited the sepulture to his father-in-law, so he didn't allow a burial. You can take this verb here if you want, present participle. He was saying that Romulus, quoque also, perisse, to have died, in sepultum, unburied. Anyway, and there's the qui. In the primors of the patrium, the primors, the leading men of these senators, quas who, relative pronoun, who he credited, who he believed, taking the infinitive, to have favoured Servius in the matter, which we saw yesterday. He interfected them. He had them killed, or he killed them. Conscious, same thing in English basically. Dende then, that badly querying a regni, and this bad way of seeking the kingship, you might want to say, abse ipsus, from himself, adversus, those who are adverse to him, they are able to take this example, so it could be used against him, this terrible way of killing a guy to get the kingship. So he circumsapsed himself. Circum means around, sapes usually means to hedge in, so he was in the middle of an armatus corpus, a bodyguard, so his body was surrounded. This is plural, bodyguard, henchman. Nequi anum is a post-positive, comes in second. So for neither to jus quicquam of the king. So he didn't have anything, any right to this kingship that he's had, besides, other than force that he had. As qui nequi, as it was not by any order of the people, nor by any authority of the patribuses, the fathers that he was regnerating. He was, as he was one, actually, this is a subjunctive, but he was ruling not by order of the people or of the senators or fathers. Akitabat, and something was added to this, that in the dearness, the caritate of the people, there was nothing of, how will we put this, no way of putting any hope into getting into the affections or dearness of the people. So by fear metu, this is how he was going to tandem the regnum. This is how he would safeguard his kingdom or protect it. Quam ut, so that he could incuterate into many, that would be this fear, so he could push fear into many people. Cognitations, these would be inquiries, where we have a capitalium rerum, these are capital offences. He did this sine conciliis, without counsellors or other people, and per se himself, solus alone, he exercised the right of a judge or something. And per eam causam, and through these cases, he was able to occidere, to kill, to agere, into exile, and he was able, potter, that's why we have all these infinitives for some reason. I usually look when I see infinitives, what the reason is, it's usually copi or potterat. He's able to multare bonus, that's the find people with their goods, so he can kill people, put them in exile, and steal their stuff basically. Non-modo, not only people he suspectos, accusative plural, or invisos, some sort of hatred towards them, but from where nihil ale, nothing other, quam, then he was able to spere, to hope for some booty, some goods. There would be these goods here. This would be the spoils, you might want to say. Precipui, especially, ita thus, in midvito numero, so with the the number diminished, patrum of the fathers in the Senate. He established it that there'd be nullo in patres to legere. He wouldn't enroll any more people in the Senate, quo with a comparative, so that's a ut, so that it can be more despised by its porcitate, by its paucity, the order itself, and minus per itself agere, nothing, by the fact that it couldn't actually do anything, it didn't have any power, it indignarator. It could be going with spurned and indignant and these sort of things. He lessens its power. Hicenum, for he was the primus, the first, regum traditum. So he's the first king from the tradition, which is from the priors, from the prior kings. He solved it. He loosened or released this more, this custom of consulting the Senate in all decisions. So with domestic councils, he administrated the republic. That's his own household, maybe his wife he was listening to. Things to do with bellum, war, pacem, peace, fodera, treaties, alliances. They were done per se ipsi, through him himself, with whoever he wanted, quibus volet, what he wanted. In usu, unordered of the people and the Senate, Senate's fourth declension, he fecketed. He made these wars, peaces, treaties and alliances, and he deremeded them, and he broke out of them. Latinorum, of the Latins, sibi to himself, Maxime especially, conciliabated gentem. So he conciliabated, or had dealings with the races of the Latins especially, so that in peregrinus opibus is usually resources and riches, and peregrinus means foreign ones, also tutio, it'd be safer amongst his own citizens, the state might be, but neither modo, not only hospitia, these are hospitable ties with the primoribuses, with the leading citizens, eorum of them, but affinates quoqui, these are joinings in marriages, jungabat, they were joined. We're nearly done for the day, it's a short one. Okay, I'll brought up praetor here. There's even in the Lewis and Short, there isn't the version of this which I've been using lately. So normally it's before, beyond, above, more than, except, accepting, unless, or save for. Oh, despite, that's what I've been using it for. When I was despite, I usually use praetor these days. Here we have a meaning along by, and in front along. I use it for along a lot as well. Beyond, contrary to, and aside from. Yeah, that's probably the despite meaning of it. Comparative, which goes beyond something else. There's a lot of things you can use praetor for. Besides, together with, in addition to, exceptionally beside and except. Okay. Praetor hac for praeteria, and moreover. Pretty handy word. Okay. So, looks like we've some datives. Octavio Mamilio Tusculono, he, longe by far, was the princeps, the leading of the name of the Latins, if we are to believe its repute, its fama, that he come from Ulysses and the goddess Circa, Oriondas he came from, to Eum, to him, Mamilio, he gave his filiam, this would be Tarquin Superbus, gave his daughter for nuptials, for marriage, and through these nuptials, for himself, many cognates, many relatives of Mamilio and amicis and friends of his, he conciliated himself with. Okay, that's it for today.